What's up, guys? This is Carter Thomas with Bluecloud Solutions, and today I want to talk to you about whether or not you need an NDA for your new app project. This is a question, I would say I get this question probably top 5 things that people email in, and I'm always surprised that it's the whole gamut, right? It can be beginners, it can be people that have been very, very successful in other business, but it's for people that have an idea or they want to build something, or maybe they have something that they already built and they want to make sure that they protect themselves. They don't necessarily want to share that information or that idea or that concept with somebody like a developer. And so they ask, do I need a non-disclosure agreement? That's what NDA is, so that when I hire a developer or when I talk to a developer, they are legally bound to keep it private. They can't tell anybody else. And so this question comes up a lot, and I want to make sure that I address this really clearly for anybody out there who's thinking about this. Now, the short answer is it only depends. You only need it if you can enforce it. And what I mean by that is that often we end up hiring people that we don't know or we don't see, right? You can see on the Bluecloud Solutions website, we've written hundreds of blog posts. It's all about hiring developers and going on sites like Upwork.com or Fiverr or 99 Designs or anywhere where you can hire somebody. These people are not always in your country, right? I mean, they're all over the world and they typically speak the same languages, but you may never meet these people. I mean, you may even some developers I've never even talked to with my voice. It's always just been typing, right? And so you got to remember, if you have a non-disclosure agreement, and let's say you get your developer to sign it, but let's say they end up breaking that non-disclosure agreement, are you going to fly to to Southeast Asia, or are you going to fly to South America? How are you going to enforce it? So that's the first thing to think about, is it's only as good as you can enforce it. If you're hiring somebody in the United States, I mean, I live in the United States, or in your native country where you actually could go and talk to them and enforce the laws, and there's things you could do, then maybe you want to think about it. But for the most part, it's just really hard to enforce. I think the bigger piece of this, and I talk a lot about this in our course, the Bluecloud App Formula, when you're hiring developers, is that when you build a really good relationship with your developers from the very start, they are not really incentivized to steal anything, especially when it comes to intellectual property, which is ideas, creativity, or whatever. They are not in the business of finding people that have good ideas, getting those ideas, turning around, and then going and building their own app business. This is not what they do. A great developer, an interview I did a long time ago, the developer gave a great example where he said, when you go to a hotel, you're not necessarily worried that the cleaning people are going to steal your clothes, because they want a job. They want to keep working at the hotel the next day. I mean, if you leave a Rolex out, you're probably, shame on you. But it's the same idea with developers. So, 99.9% of the time, they're not interested in your idea. They're interested in the budget, they're interested in getting it done, and everything that a project plan manager would do. Okay, so that's the second piece, where building a good relationship is a really, really good way to make sure that the project gets done in time, and they're not really incentivized to begin with to take your idea and run away with it or anything like that. Now, for anyone out there, if you do have something that you want to protect and you are going to hire someone locally or in your native country, there are NDAs that you can get, right? We have one on bluecloudsolutions.com, how to make an app, how-to-make-an app, and you can download it right there. It's a very simple template that you can follow. But what I will say is that most developers have heard most ideas before. There's very few ideas that are truly revolutionary. And so it's fine to go through that process, but often it's just going to end up costing you more money to go through that process. And the real money in any business is always in the execution, in building the actual product itself. So you can definitely get an NDA, just make sure that you have a plan when you want to use it. All right, if this was helpful, leave a thumbs up on YouTube, leave a like on Facebook. If you're listening to the podcast, please share this with somebody who has an app idea, who's thinking about needing an NDA, and I will see you guys soon.